What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another live of the Yankees Den podcast. I'm your host, Lorenzo Scarabino. I'm by myself tonight. Jimmy had plans, so he will not be joining me. Hopefully, we get him on soon. It's been just me for a little bit as I was on vacation, but we are back in the den, the Yankees den. We have the backdrop finally back, the mic, the headphones, the camera. We're back in the setup, and we have another Yankees loss, another series loss, and we are lucky. I don't know if I should say we're lucky, but I'm going to say it that we're lucky that the Rays lost again today. And the Astros took 2 out of 3 from them, and we're still only 4 games back. This was a missed opportunity because if you look at it and we sweep the Twins, there were only 2 games back coming into a 4 game set in Tropicana. But tomorrow, we start a 4 game set. We are 4 games out. Gotta try and take the series. Have to try and take the series or at least split. You got to try and do something. You can't get dismantled by this team. You're going into Tropicana. You have trouble there. They pull off some witchcraft all the time. You got to beat them. We got to step up for the series and get up. We haven't been playing good, but for this series, the Yankees have to get up. The excuses could only be, or the injuries could only be an excuse for so long. At some point, it's got to stop, and they got to start producing and not relying on the home run all the time. You have to come through and string together good at bats, singles, doubles, get the 2 out hits. So let's go into this recap. Then let's break down the game with some of our notes, and we'll have a segment again tonight of Guess the Yankee in the Den. But yesterday's Yankee in the Den, it was Didi Gregorius. So anyone who commented that, or if you follow the Yankees Den IG or the TikTok, which is at Yankees_Den, you will know, and you could comment under there as well if you would like, or under the video, of course. But tonight we will be doing another one of those segments. But let's hop into the recap. So we have Weathers, who goes 4 innings, gives up 4 earned runs. Blackburn goes an inning, gives up a hit, a walk, gets a strikeout, 0 earned runs. Doval, 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 0 earned runs. Bird, an inning and 2/3 innings pitched. He gives up 2 hits. He gets a strikeout, 0 runs. Then Angel Chavilli, however you say his name, who got brought up for Beck because Beck got sent down after yesterday's terrible performance. He pitches an inning and a third, and he gives up a hit, 1 strikeout, no walks, and no runs. But let's get into what started it all and the offensive side of things. We have, jumping into the game in the first inning, we have a big double play by Austin Wells and Anthony Volpe. It's a strike him out, throw him out on Cody Clemens, who's killed us this series, and Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton steals, Clemens strikes out. Wells finally throws someone out. Not a good throw at all to the first base side, wide. But Volpe, we give credit where credit is due. Let's do a little golf clap for Volpe. He does something good at shortstop fielding with the glove, and he puts a nice tag, and they get him out. Great job to get that out because it was first and third with no outs. So now you got third base with 2 outs, and Weathers can't get it done. Josh Bell comes through with 2 outs, and he hits one off the wall. It looked like it could have went out, but Max Schumann makes a nice attempt to try and get it, went into his glove and came out, but he maybe possibly stops it from being a home run, which is a great thing. But they do score on the play, which is an RBI single for him. And then we jump to the second. So 1-0 after the first. Jazz has a great at-bat in the second inning, but then he spoils it and ruins it by getting back picked at first base. I don't know where he was going. I really don't know. what he's doing on the base paths, what he's doing in the field, what he's doing up at bat. He does something good and then he squanders it. So he gets backpicked and he gets out. The Yankees don't really do anything. They look terrible today offensively again. And Brooks Lee then has an RBI single. And I'm going to get into Brooks Lee a little bit as maybe a surprise target that Brian Cashman could go out for because he's a little bit of a sneaky guy. He's pesky. He's decent with the glove. He could play third base, but he wouldn't be a bad guy to maybe snag. He's a switch hitter, and he did pretty good against us today. But he drives in an RBI single in the fourth, making it 2-0 Twins. Weathers gets pulled in the fourth inning with two runners on already, but Blackburn enters and he gets two quick outs. Great job by him. His curveball, he's been sharp. He's worked himself into high leverage spots, but then he gives up a two-run RBI single or two run single to Royce Lewis, which goes to Weathers' earned run average, and he goes 4 innings officially with 4 earned runs. 4-0 Twins in the fifth. We go into the sixth, and what do you know? Another day. That Volpe starting at shortstop, another error for Anthony Volpe, and that play has to be made. But it always seems like, for whatever reason, as much as Doval is disliked and he's been doing bad, whenever he's in, the defense and especially the infield defense just shits its pants. I have no clue what happens to them, but they play atrocious behind Doval. But he makes an error that needs to be made. Jazz actually came out in that sixth inning after an at bat in the fifth where he started limping towards first base a little bit as he hit the ball. But I'm tired of him. Just trade him. It's something new every time, and you don't pray for injury. I hope he recovers and he's fine and he's not injured. But the guy's either arguing and getting ejected, he's running out there with lollipop and thinking he's hot stuff, or arguing balls and strikes. I mean, challenging balls in the zone. He's got no awareness, and he's been really such a letdown for this team this year and has not stepped up at all. And just get him out. I want to trade him so bad. I do not want him on the team. But getting on with the game, Doval in the sixth walks in a run with the bases loaded, 5-0 Twins. Then Clemens gets an RBI on a sac fly, 6-0 Twins. That's all they score. But the Twins have not won a series at Yankee Stadium since 2014. And guess what? They did. So now are you a bit more concerned that the Twins, who you always kill, just beat you at home? That's sad. But Joe Ryan, great showing and performance from him. Wink, wink. Is he someone that Cashman maybe goes out and gets? But he goes 7 innings of 0-run ball. Looked really good. His pitches look good. He doesn't light up the radar gun, but he's got good movement on the splitter, on that slider, curveball, whatever you want to call it. He's got good movement and good run on that fastball as well. And he's pretty fun to watch on the mound. He's getting down on the knee. He's laughing with the other batters, getting in their head, playing a little bit of a game. I like the way he rocks his arms when he comes up. I liked it. He did good today. But the Yankees don't really do anything in the ninth inning. They do their little fake comeback down by 6. Then Dominguez hits into a double play, but scores a run from third base, making it 6-1. The Yankees don't do anything else in the ninth inning, and they wind up losing 6-1 to a garbage Twins team that has been playing that during the season. They're not good. They're below 500, another team below 500 losing the series. But the Twins offense has been good, but still there's no excuse to lose a series to the Minnesota Twins, especially at home. No way you should be losing that series. But Chris D, welcome in everyone who's in the chat. He says, fire Boone. It's time. The legend Jeter right over Lorenzo's shoulders. Love it. Yes. Yes, right over here. Thank you. I appreciate that. Healing Men's Hearts. Thank you for the comment and welcome into the show. Late show, and I love that you guys are in. Jazz is a cancer. He is a clubhouse cancer. He complains. He's arrogant, and he's just not good enough to be doing that. And Evan, who is new to the chat yesterday, he says, "Hey Lorenzo, what's up, Evan? How are you doing tonight? I hope everybody did. If you missed the live yesterday, had a great 4th of July and 250th anniversary of freedom for America. But getting on with the show, let's get into our notes. And the first set of notes I have, and I want to talk about a little bit, is I want to talk about Ryan Weathers. Now, we did see something after the game that Ryan Weathers was still dealing a little bit with that food poisoning. And you can't use everything as an excuse. Not everything could be used as an excuse, and you can't always make excuses. Excuse me, if you are playing and you're throwing up between innings like Ryan Weathers said he was, you should not have been pitching. Because you hurt the team by doing that. By saying I could go out there even though I'm sick and I'm not fully myself, I'm just going to go out there and see what happens. And then you pitch terrible, give up 4 earned runs, don't have your control or command at all. Didn't have his fastball at all today. And you hurt the team more that way. You would rather have someone just give a spot start to maybe Paul Blackburn or, Yarbrough, even though you don't want to do it. Them fully healthy, maybe if Ryan Weathers isn't fully himself, doesn't hurt the team as much. And Blackburn has been pretty good. And I wonder why they didn't just give the spot start yesterday to Paul Blackburn. Why did they call up Beck and send down Jones? Because you could have used Jones yesterday. But going on with that, Weathers has not made more than 18, and we're approaching these numbers. He has not, and this was the 17th start of the year. He has not made more than 18 MLB starts in a single regular season since his rookie year in San Diego. That's when he made 18 starts. So every other year, he hasn't gotten to that. And he's approaching those innings. He's at those innings right now. But Weathers has to go to the bullpen. And I truly do think that Ryan Weathers will actually thrive being put in the pen for this year. Now, do I think that over the long haul, he should be in the pen? No, because I think that he has a lot of potential. I do, if he stays healthy, because he's shown us at the beginning that he has electric stuff and he can be good. But this year, it was going to be a bit of a stretch because he's going to reach those innings if he stays healthy and on the diamond a full year. So that was always a concern, and the bullpen was always going to be an option, I feel like. And I feel like this year, he will thrive in that situation, and they need to wake up and just put him there and maybe give some starts to ERC, see what he's got going on, maybe bring up someone else. Like you brought up Cam Schlittler in 2025 last year, and he wasn't really on the top 10, and look how he turned out. So maybe give a shot to someone else. I mean, something to spark this team and get this team up, because what's going on right now is not doing it at all. As all of you guys are seeing, it's just terrible game after terrible game after terrible game, and it's unwatchable at this point, and it gets so frustrating. Sorry, I forgot to pop up the bottom banner for you guys, but I just popped that up right now. Thank you for the comment, Evan. He says the Yankees are content with Wells hitting 150. They are complacent. You're 100% right. They take no accountability. Did you hear? Did everybody in this chat catch what Doval said, or Aaron Boone said about Doval? He's good. You just got to realize, I know people don't like to hear it, but you just got to realize that he's going to be part of figuring it out. I mean, what? And this comes straight from the analytic department, because if you look at Baseball Savant, and I'm sure the Yankees do because they love analytics so much, his expected ERA is a 2.9. And these are the same geeks that look at expected win and loss, that say the Yankees are actually playing worse than expected. They're just getting unlucky. And the Rays are playing better than expected, so they're getting lucky. So we should be winning the AL East right now and be the best team in the AL. You can expected stats mean jack because that's not the actual real numbers. Does that mean anything if those aren't your real numbers? I can have an expected 1,000 batting average. Does that mean nothing if I'm batting 0? No, it doesn't matter. That's the game of baseball. You can't come into the game and hit a ball and it's a rocket and has an expected batting average of 600 and be like, "Whoa, actually that should have been a hit, but it's an out." No, you can't say I had good at bats. You're in a slump. You're 0 for whatever, and you don't come through with runners in scoring position in a big moment. But you're like, I hit the ball hard. I had an expected batting average of this. So if you're talking about analytically, I should have gotten a hit. That's like in the NBA Finals when the Spurs manager, or in the conference finals to get to the finals, he was like, I forget which manager it was for the NBA, one of the teams, and he was like, well, it was the Cavs, I'm pretty sure, and he was like, well, actually, if you look at the numbers and on paper, we're winning this series 3-0 instead of being down 3-0. Like, no, that's just not the reality of it. And they lost the series and they got swept. So you cannot look at it like that. And I hate that so much. Austin Wells should not be anywhere close to this baseball team or the baseball diamond of the New York Yankees. Healing men's hearts. Thanks for the comment. He says, Yankees know they're making the playoffs. They know they can tinker and screw around. You are 100% right. Cashman doesn't care. Hal doesn't care. They just care about making the playoffs, making some money, getting in, getting into the wild card, whatever, the division round, losing. But at least they can say, well, we build teams that go to the playoffs every single year. You're a lucky fan base. We go to the playoffs every year. Do we win? No, because we think that it's a crapshoot. You just have to get hot at the right moment. So we just hope that one year we get hot at the right moment and win the World Series. You cannot look at it like that. And it's terrible management, and something needs to happen. And that goes right along with the title of today's video and live is Yankees keep losing, and it's Boone and Cashman's fault. And it 100% is because, well, it's really more of Cashman's fault because Boone's just a puppet. And he's just doing what he's told by the analytic department. But at some point, you got to take some accountability for what you're doing. And so does Cashman. He can't always build teams every single year that he's got to be like, all right, well, we're just going to roll out this team. And then come deadline, we're going to wait till the deadline because we know we have the deadline to fall back on if we have some holes. And then we'll just fix it up then. You should come into the season with those holes already fixed. And Cashman didn't do that this offseason. And I'm going to bring up something else, and we're going to talk about it a little more. How the heck does this bullpen have the second best ERA in baseball? It seems like they have one of the worst pens in the league. I really don't understand that. Maybe it's because the Yankees give up so many unearned runs that it seems like the relievers are giving up so many runs. But Celia, sorry, I almost botched that, but I didn't. Thank you for the comment. She says, hey, y'all. Judge and Stanton potentially coming back to this team isn't going to save them. I think they need a completely new infield aside from Rice, if I'm being real. Now, listen, I do agree. I really do agree. Because Caballero isn't insane and isn't a superstar. So, yes, you need a whole new infield if you're starting Kabi at shortstop too. But this year, and I am telling you, this year you can make the World Series and you can sneak out of a World Series and win it if the Yankees open their eyes. And if you, right? So Judge is going to come back. You'll have Bellinger, Grisham, Judge in the outfield. In the infield, it has to be McMahon. Play the best defense out there. It has to be McMahon, Caballero at shortstop. Volpe's got to go down or be traded or DFA'd. We're most likely going to be stuck with Jazz, although I think that they could move him. Excuse me. and explore him at the deadline, and I hope they do because I don't want to see him at second base come postseason time. But if he's the second baseman, then Rice or Goldschmidt is, I'll say Rice is the first baseman. Then you get a real catcher, and your DH is Stanton or Goldschmidt, and that you have Rosario, Goldschmidt, Dominguez, Schumann on the bench, and you fix up the bullpen a little bit, and guys start getting healthy like Schmidt, Fried, Rodon comes back, you will be fine. You will be. But the only thing hurting this team is the manager and the front office itself. It's not even that they're not good enough, because they're good enough to string together some wins and take some series from these bummy teams. But it's the management. It all falls on the management, and at some point they got to take the hit, because you can't. And I hate how Aaron Boone and the analytical department makes lineups based off and around Anthony Volpe to fit him in the lineup. Why the heck was he starting a second straight game at shortstop today? Where was McMahon? Why couldn't he play? It's not like he's coming back from an injury. He's coming back from a sickness. Why couldn't he play? Did he have food poisoning still from the other day? Was he feeling it and throwing up? I mean, listen. You have to realize it. I don't understand that whatsoever. They make these lineups around Volpe, and it was ridiculous. He was batting fifth tonight. And how is Anthony Volpe batting fifth? I mean, just very poor construction. And Celia says, Cashman gave him a bad roster, unfortunately. He did, but Boone's not doing anything to help him out or save him. The way he's talking after press conferences, the way he's not holding guys accountable. He's got to go. And unfortunately for Aaron Boone, even though it may truly not be his fault and he's just doing what he's told to keep his job, he's going to be the first guy to take the bullet. And that's the only way we could get to Brian Cashman. Hal is gotta put everyone on notice, and he's gotta fire Aaron Boone. Now, this I don't think will happen. I think Boone will fulfill his contract, the rest of his contract. But what should happen is Boone should be fired. Cashman should be fired. And then you have Michael Kay. Well, no. Brian Cashman, Aaron Boone, if they were fired from the Yankees, there would be teams swarming around them trying to pick them up. I don't care about other teams trying to have Aaron Boone, have Brian Cashman. They didn't do it for the Yankees when they were with us. So go get someone else, try something new. But thank you for the comment, Celia. Healing Men's Heart says, Celia, in total agreement, roster construction is like a cooked roof. Too many holes to patch. A new roof is needed. Yes. And he follows up with new roof equals torn to the studs, Rice, Judge, Cole, and Schiller as building blocks. And Healing Men's Hearts, again, are they, Lorenzo, with the question for me? Are they, Lorenzo? This team isn't good enough. Talent is lacking. Cashman is poor at evaluating talent. Now, Cashman has his moments. He makes good trades, but he also doesn't have his moments. And it's been too long to say, I've made some good moves, so I should still be here. I get us to the postseason every year, but he hasn't won us anything since 2009. And there's something to be said for that. And you ask me, Healing Men's Hearts, you say, are they? And truly, fully healthy, maybe not right now, are they good enough? I still do think they have talent in some of the young guys, in Dominguez and stuff, to really win some games, at least not lose a series to the Minnesota Twins. But do I think they are good enough, if that's what you're asking me? Healthy, yes, I do. But I only think they're good enough if they make the right decisions. If they keep trotting out Volpe and they keep trotting out Wells, or even if they get a catcher and they keep trotting out Volpe and they don't do anything to this pen, then no. Then no, they're not good enough. But that's my take on that. Is I mean, the management, the front office have to wake up. And Evan says Volpe hitting fifth can never happen again. Caballero needs to play shortstop every day. Again, the philosophy of the front office is confusing, and it starts there. 100% right. Why is Volpe ever, for any team, batting fifth, let alone the New York Yankees? How is he batting fifth? And then you have behind him Jazz Chisholm, who swings for the fences every single swing. Guy needs to get off the team ASAP. I don't. Who would you guys boot off the team first? Would it be Jazz? Would it be Volpe? Would it be Wells? Or would it be who else am I thinking of? Will Warren. Those out of those people, who would you kick off the team first? If you had to start those four, who are you taking off of the Yankees right now? Or maybe even a Weathers. Or maybe even, I don't know, a Ryan Yarbrough or a Camilo Doval. Who, if you had one move, if the Yankees brought you in today, which would never happen, but we're just playing hypotheticals and stuff like that. If it ever happened where they were like, come in, you get one move. You get release someone from the team. What's that one move you are making? And going on with our notes is Brooks Lee, right? I was talking about this a little bit and I was thinking about this, right? Is Joe Ryan pitched good? They need, and I was thinking because this goes with Ryan Weathers because I was watching Ryan Weathers pitch. Sorry, I dropped one of my lights, but it's all right. We'll continue. But I was watching the start today from Ryan Weathers and Joe Ryan, and I was thinking to myself, no way in heck this team is making it a full season or to the end of the season and into October and making a run without another starter. And I was watching Joe Ryan, and he's got the rest of this year, obviously, but he's not a rental because he's got all of next year if it happens or whenever the next season happens. So you have him for a year and a half. But you also need a catcher in Jeffers. So you could put something together and kill two birds with one stone. Or do the Yankees, and I was thinking about this. I saw him up. I know he's had a pretty good year. We'll pop his baseball savant up in a little bit. But Brooks Lee, could he be someone the Yankees pick up? You always hear about those sneaky picks, and like last year, a Caballero. We didn't really think that. There was no rumors about that. It just happened at the final moments of the deadline. Could Brooks Lee be someone that Cashman snags? He's versatile. He likes the versatility from guys where they play all over. He plays third base. He plays shortstop. Maybe not at an elite level, but he's a switch hitter. He's a what's the word I'm working for? He's a good at bat. So he's a scrappy at bat. That's what I was gonna say. Scrappy at bat. So maybe he could be a sneaky pickup. But going into Weathers and finishing up on that, because I want to get into Cabby a little bit, is Weathers looked fatigued today. And maybe that was because he was still sick and vomiting from the food poisoning. But his fastball was getting hit, so he stayed away from that. And he stayed with his off speed a lot. It looked good at times, and then it looked trash. He did not have command of the zone at all. He was fighting the whole day. And we cannot get start after start after start. We are running through this bullpen, and it's getting fatigued too. And so are the starters, and it's giving the offense no chance to even stay in the game. And it's shutting them down within the first 2 innings. You got to give us more than 4 innings. And we had 3 2/3 innings from Brennan Beck, yesterday too. That's just not acceptable at all. We need to see some more from this team, some more grit. But Sal, thank you for being in the chat. He says, sell the team. It's over. Yep. Me and Sal were actually talking about this. during the game too. I mean, they are, and thank you for being in here, Sal. But I mean, it's getting really ugly really quick, and we don't understand what's happening. We were talking about Wells. How is he still on this team? I mean, we are so frustrated with this team. It's unbelievable. And Healing Men's Heart says, no team wants Boone or Cashman. I don't think that either. But you have Michael Kay up in the booth who will say during the game or on his show, and he'll say, well, Brian Cashman's an excellent GM. Teams will come and get Cashman. Teams will want Cashman. And it doesn't really matter because he's not benefiting the Yankees, is what I'm saying. And Celia says, 100% Healing Men's Hearts. And honestly, I'm not too sure if they're good enough. Grisham, McMahon, Jazz, Wells, Volpe. These guys are so inconsistent. I don't see many clutch players on this team. You are right about that. One thing the Yankees lack right now that other teams have, like the Blue Jays had last year, or the Dodgers have the last few years, it's clutch players. And why do they have clutch players? Well, they go out and get, like the Dodgers. Look at the Dodgers. They go out and get every superstar, whoever's the best on the market. They go out and grab. They throw a bag. They threw what 60 million at Kyle Tucker. He's nowhere near that. He hasn't even been better than Cody Bellinger. But they want to win and they don't care. They get the big guys. Freddie Freeman could come through. Mookie Betts could still come through if you need him. Max Muncy, Will Smith, Teoscar Hernandez, Andy Pajes, Tommy Edman. I mean, you go up and down that lineup. Anybody could come through. Dalton Rushing, even though I absolutely dislike the player, but they got dudes. And Healing Men's Heart says, fully healthy, they aren't good enough. They don't hit for average. That is true as well. Fully healthy, I think they're good enough because the AL stinks. And I'm not going to lie, the whole league this year seems like it stinks. No one team seems incredible. Now, the Dodgers have run away with the record for the whole MLB. They're playing really well. I mean, their record speaks for itself. They got dudes up and down, like I was talking about in the rotation, bullpen, wherever lineup. But you can make it to the World Series again. And I'm actually going to talk about a little bit that they will shoot themselves in the foot. And I think it could be another 2024. But yeah, they don't hit for average, and that's why you need to trade for a Luis Arise. I was gonna say Luis Heel, Luis Arise, and ship out Jazz Chisholm. But Sal says Yanks never hit for average. It's home run or strikeout. The team with this core will never win, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, and it's sad because you have Judge who will never get a ring, Cole will never get a ring, Stanton will never get a ring, and these are guys that come through. But you can't have one guy, you can't have two guys. It takes a whole team. And if you have Anthony Volpe coming up there and he's trying to hit home runs, you have Jazz Chisholm after another trying to hit home runs. Austin Wells, who's batting 150, 10 RBIs to this point, he's trying to hit home runs. I mean, what are these guys' approaches? And at some point, Rosen or Rowson, whatever his name is, the hitting coach, where is he? He should be getting the boot. I mean, he hasn't helped at all. And Healing Men's Heart says, Celia, agreed. Volpe, Wells, and Jazz are losers. Their stats are putrid, 100%. And before I get into that, Healing Men's Heart, sorry, I skipped over Celia real quick. Thank you for the comment. She says, the problem is they're trying to bop home runs. They can't manufacture runs because that's not what they do. When you don't hit for average, this is what happens. And that's 100% right. They rely on the long ball. And when that long ball doesn't happen or they go in a drought not hitting home runs, there's only so much that even Ben Rice could do hitting singles, or you see it with Jason Dominguez getting a leadoff double and then they strand him. I mean, when the home run doesn't come, they don't do anything, and that's poor. Without the presence of Judge behind guys, without Stanton, I mean, this team is nothing. And they've proven me wrong because I thought that they were going to be good. They're well constructed, got a good bench. I said that they were a very deep team. They're the deepest team since I've been watching. That's what I said. And I'm not going to just abandon ship. I may have been wrong. I mean, the 2017 team was better. The 2019 team was more fun. They got to show me something. And I'm not going to get crazy and go crazy because of a losing streak. Losing streak and cold stretches happen. They happen at the same time every year for the Yankees, but they always happen. They happen to every team. But we got to start seeing it change soon and the tide shift. Healing Men's Heart says, first off, would be Wells. I might ship out Volpe first because I just want Caballero starting at shortstop. But yeah, Wells is putrid to watch. Sal says Austin Wells basically goes up there with no bat. And we were actually talking about this too, Sal. I said to you, I would rather, and it would be more exciting to see a random fan go up every time his numbers called or his spot in the lineup's called. You, as the Yankees manager, go out to the front row, pick any one of those guests sitting in attendance watching the game, and they will probably have a better chance of getting on base than Austin Wells. It will be more fun to watch them than Austin Wells. He's terrible. Celia says, I don't think he's going to do much at the deadline, the trade deadline, to be honest. I think they may get a catcher, a couple bullpen arms, maybe a starter, but I don't think they're going to significantly change anything. That would be a bad decision. And we're going to get into that as well, Celia. Thanks for the comment. And Healing Men's Heart says, Celia is right. They will probably be marginal players. Team is pretty much set. I hope not. I really hope not, guys. And Celia says, Healing Men's Heart, I can't take this team seriously anymore. The fact that Volpe and Wells are still in the major leagues tells me everything I need to know. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's stupid at this point. Sal says Boone, Cashman, Volpe, Wells, Stanton, Jazz. As long as these guys rep New York Yankees, they will never win. There's more. This is the thing with Stanton. Is Stanton helped us get to the World Series in 24. He was a big part of the 2020 postseason. He always comes up clutch, regular season, postseason. He didn't do it last postseason. He struggled a bit. He's getting old and injuries are a part of his game, but he does step up in the clutch moments, and I do like Stan. But he is clogging up that DH spot. He really is. And getting on with our notes is, I want to talk about Jose Caballero. Caballero has a below 700 OPS, right? No one is saying he's spectacular. He's the next best thing. He's taking Jeter's spot. Nobody's saying that. He's going to be the next Jeter. But I would much rather him than Volpe. Because Cabby is still a good defender and consistent at defense. Volpe is not. And with the bat, he's more pesky. He could bunt if you need him to. Volpe can't bunt. Volpe tries to swing for a home run. At least Cabby puts the ball in play more. Doesn't go for home runs. Is a little bit more situational than Volpe. So it's just something that needs to happen. I just went over it brief because every night we talk about it, and it needs to be talked about because Volpe can't be getting at bats anymore. It's ridiculous at this point. And thank you for all the comments, guys. I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to get to it and go through my notes as fast as I can. But jumping on is we have the second best bullpen ERA. And I said this earlier. How? How bad are these MLB bullpens? And I said, is it the bullpen? Are we getting like our heads messed with? Is the bullpen really that bad? Or is the defense that bad? Because we give up so many unearned runs, and it makes the bullpen look so trash. So is it really the defense, or is it the bullpen? Or honestly, it's a mixture of both. But I just don't know how they have the second best ERA, bullpen ERA in the majors. That's concerning for the whole major league. And going on with that, it actually ties into what I want to bring up is I can see, and I said this earlier, I can see this team making the World Series. And I feel like it could be another 24 and do the exact same thing. They could beat themselves up because of the defense. If they keep guys like Volpe on the field, Wells on the field, even in the postseason, if Ryan Weathers, if you pitch hit for him and you put in Wells, you're getting terrible. You're getting bad. You're not getting better, you're getting worse. We need a starting catcher and a backup catcher. But I could see that happening as well. And before we jump into our segment, let's see. Healing Man's Heart says, good for TJ. I actually want Jones and J-Dom to be traded so they can salvage their careers. Yeah, I mean, listen, TJ Rumfield is lighting it up for the Colorado Rockies, and we have Chavilli. I don't even know how to say his name. He's bad. But Celia says, Healing Man's Heart, they gave away Rumfield, who's absolutely raking with the Rockies for it. Yep. And they said he hasn't had nowhere to play. He could play third base. He could have played third base for us. Why didn't we start the year? Why didn't we just say, listen, Ben Rice, you called for us last year. You're going to be the starting catcher. And we're going to have TJ Rumfield at first. Look what he's doing now. Rocky S, thanks for the comment. He says, they need Cabby at short every day. Put Rosario at second base. You need them in the lineup. They bring the energy and change the dynamic of the team. The whole Yankee staff is garbage. And I agree right now is even though Rosario's defense stinks and isn't really good, he's more electric and he's a better at bat. I'd rather watch him than Jazz Chisholm, and he's more electric. But moving on is, let's see. We have Celia says, Caballero had a 700 plus OPS before he started getting moved around all over the field. Exactly. They start moving him around. Boone says, I don't think it's going to hinder him. It's not going to hurt him. He's fine. Yes, it does, because when they come in, they don't know where they're playing. They have to take more time taking outfield fly balls at third base, second base. Volpe should be the one moving, not Cabby. He earned that spot. And Healing Man's Heart says, Cabby looks like a Hall of Famer compared to Volpe. That's how bad Volpe is. You are 100% right. And I said this to my dad and to my family at the beginning of the year when we were watching and Volpe's injured. I was like, it's night and day difference. From going from watching Volpe all these years since he's been up to Cabby starting, it's night and day. Rocky S says, Volpe sucks, so does Wells. And the same thing with Dominguez. His defense sucks. Dominguez's defense sucks. I wish his bat would wake up a little bit more, but you see the glimpses of it, but I would trade him, to be honest. Healy Man's Heart says, it's both Duvall, Chavilli, and Bird are awful. Celia says, I think it's both personally. Hearing that stat is kind of surprising. And Celia says, the only reliable ones in the pen are Cruz, Hedrick, and Bednar. Yep, it is surprising. Exactly, Celia. It is surprising. I don't understand how. I think it's pronounced Healing Man's Hearts. Thank you. Shivi'i? Shivi'i? That's Angel Shavi'i? Oh my god. Healing Man's Heart says Shavili is Italian for meatballs. LOL. No shade to my Italian. Hey, I'm Italian. No shade taken, Healing Man's Heart. Thanks for clearing that up. I would have gotten mad. No, I'm showing. But listen, Evan says, send down Wells, Volpe, and Duvall. What are your thoughts on Spencer Jones? Now, I don't know if Duvall can be sent down. I would just DFA him or try and trade him, but definitely Wells and Volpe. And my thoughts on Spencer Jones is I think it's going to be Jones or Dominguez as the starting center fielder next year. I need to see more. And the reason why I need to see more is that he was up with the team and he did great, right? He did really good in his second stint up with the team. But I can't make an assessment on Spencer Jones when you don't let him bat and you sit him against left-handed pitching. How can I tell you how I view him as an MLB player if you're not going to let him be a full MLB player and he's only going to be a part-time player and bat against righties? I have to see what he does against lefties. His defense is great. He has really good defense, better than Dominguez. He has more speed. If he could hit for power and hit like he was hitting when he came up his second stint, then I like him a lot. But I think he has a lot of value as well. Evan says Dominguez's defense has improved. That has to be acknowledged, of course, and I've said it on this show. He's made some terrific plays, and his defense has improved as he went to right field. Maybe left field was more of a struggle, and you got to remind yourself, and I want to see him in center field. He got brought up as a center fielder. I need to see his speed and him in center field. Maybe the corners are messing with him. But his bat, he's a switch hitter. He's got speed as well. He can steal bases. I like him a little more than Spencer Jones, Evan. I do. I would trade Jones before I trade Dominguez. But Dominguez has been getting hurt a lot year after year. So, but any one of them, to be honest. You could keep one, trade one, whichever one I would be happy with, if I'm being honest. Healy Mentor says Chiavilli's new nickname is Popetti Meatballs in Italian. Oh, I don't know if I said that right, and I'm Italian. Healy Mentor says, just effing with you, Lorenzo. I know. I love how we could joke on this live a little bit, have some fun. Rocky S says Spencer Jones is him. Yes, we know you love Spencer Jones. You love you some Spencer Jones. And Rocky S says Dominguez has had his opportunities and he can't play the field and hits on and off. He hits on and off. His fielding has gotten better. He's got speed. He needs to get more runway, but I think he's improved a lot. His power has shown. His hitting has shown. He's gotten to hot streaks. He's gotten cold, but I really like Dominguez. I do because he's a switch hitter, but I need to see more as well. I just want to see more from these guys. I want to see a full sample size of these guys. And Evan says, great points. I agree with you 100%. Thank you for that. Now, getting into let's have a little fun. Let's take a little break. Stop talking so serious, so negative about this team. Let's take a break. And we are gonna, hold on for you guys. I have a segment, Yankee in the Den. And this is sponsored by our sponsor of today's live, Richard's Painting in Barnegat, New Jersey. I'm popping it up right now. You can follow them on Instagram. No spaces, no caps. That is their number. Great service. If you need painting done, give them a call. They're great. Thanks for sponsoring our live tonight. And I'm going to leave that up there for a little bit. But we have our Yankee in the Den. And I'm going to bring it up because I made a little something for you guys. So let me see if I could get this going. So you guys could try and guess this a little bit. All right. So this Yankee in the Den, right? Oh boy. Hold on. I'm trying to get this to show. Bear with me a little bit. I will get it. Don't worry for you guys. There it is. There it is for you guys. Okay. Sorry for that. But if you can guess the Yankee in the Den, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Look at that a little bit. This is a right-handed relief pitcher. He played for the Yankees in 2008 to 2014. Then he played for the White Sox from 2016 to 17. Traded back to the Yankees in 2017. Finished with 2018. Went to the Phillies in 2019. Didn't play 2020. With the Rays 2021. Was with the Cubs in 22, that traded back to the Phillies in 22 after he was having a solid year. Played for the Marlins and Mets in 23, the Rangers in 24, back to the Phillies again in 25, and he retired earlier this year. Who is the Yankee in the Den? Who is it? And give me your comments. Comment after the video goes live. You can comment right now in the comments, but I also, if you guys want to, I'm not going to spoil it. I will spoil it and give you the answer at the beginning of tomorrow's live. Or sometimes if you follow, and at the bottom right now, I have at Yankees_Den. Follow the TikTok, follow the Instagram. I post it and I give a little bit of an early inside look of who it is before we go live. So if you guys could follow me on TikTok and Instagram, help that out a little bit. That would be much appreciated. But I'm glad that you guys are participating and you guys are commenting for this Yankees in the Den post and segment. I really like this. Let me know if you guys like this segment, the Yankees in the Den. Do you want me to keep doing it? I feel like it's a little bit of a fun break that we could get into it and we could just have some fun. But Ronald Arnold, thank you for coming in. He says, look at the Dodgers. They have guys on that team with good batting averages. 100% right. And that's a team that wins. They've won back-to-back, and they have good batting averages. They don't worry about home runs. They can hit with any spot you put them in, they can hit. Now, Evan has his David Robertson. Rocky S agrees with him. I'm not going to be giving it away, just popping all these up. And Healing Man's Heart says, tapping out of that one. Not going to use Google to cheat. Yeah, I mean, listen, a bunch of teams this reliever played for. Rocky S says Robertson, they need an arm like him in the bullpen now. I'm not going to give away who it is. Like I said, follow to stay updated on my socials. But David Robertson was a phenomenal Yankee. I loved him. We need a guy like that. He had guts. He had kahunas. You know what I mean? He got the job done. And Rocky S says, I like it. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Healing Men's Heart says, I like it too. It gets the audience involved. Yes. Thank you for that. And he says, Rocky S says, yes, definitely Healing Men's Hearts. And Evan says, yes, I like it. Thank you guys for the support. I'm trying new things. Listen, I know in our generation, in my generation, I should be good with the technology, but I'm still trying to find my way around it, see what works, trying to make new layouts for the show, trying to update it, trying to get better with the thing. So bear with me as we go on. We will get better. We will get more advanced. You guys are going to see the growth through every live, every month, week after week, live after live. We'll get better with it. I promise. But the going into our next set of notes is, hold on, we have a comment. Is Healing Men's Heart says, you are doing fine, Lorenzo. Your show is good. Thank you, Healing Men's Heart. We're good, but listen, you can always get better. And I'm always looking for an opportunity to get better and keep growing this thing. And going into our next set of notes, and thank you for that comment. I appreciate it. The defense looked like crap. Like I said earlier, where was McMahon? Can someone tell me, did I miss something? Was he injured? Or was he sick again? I don't understand. Who's making these lineups and putting the players in these spots and putting Volpe at shortstop? Every day, over and over again, have to bring it up multiple times. It's annoying to even bring up over and over again because it's the same thing. And I am defense first over offense. Defense and pitching wins games. Because the offense could go cold, but if you have a good glove, they're usually more reliable. So, I'm defense first. We need defense, and I like McMahon's glove, even though it's taken a step back. It has. But he's a better glove than Rosario over there or Cabby at third. Cabby should be at short. Healing Men's Heart says AI is making the lineup. And Evan follows up, says ChatGPT. LOL. Yes, that's exactly what's making the lineup. Hey, chat, how can we make a lineup around Anthony Volpe who sucks in Austin Wells? And it throws out, it's like, hey, well, you want to make him look good, so just bat Anthony Volpe fifth. And maybe he'll do something, and you could say that you were right. It's ridiculous. The offense also didn't do anything. And is it time to get concerned? Is it time to really get concerned? Are we entering 2023 territory? Are we entering that? They lost the series to the Twins. Now they head to Tampa for a 4-game set. Got to split. Maybe even win. Shock us a little bit. If you win, I'd be very shocked. But are you concerned? What's your concern level with this team right now? Drop it in the comments. What's your concern level? But this team needs to do something. I got to see this Tampa series. If they get blown out of the water and get swept or lose 3 out of 4, then they might be heading into the wild card or 2023 territory. But Haley Med's Heart says, chat New York Yankees, LOL. Yeah, they make their own chat with all the analytical nerds, and they just put their input. It's just them in the chat talking to themselves. That's the AI that they use. Evan says, remember the 2020 season. If the Yankees played 60 games, they would be a fringe 500 team. Exactly. Perfect point right there, Evan. If they played 60 games, they would be a fringe 500 team with these injuries. But this year, 60 games, they might have been better. I don't know which mark was 60 games, what their record was, but I know that they went from 48 and 31 to now they're 48 and 41, if I'm not mistaken, or 48 and 40. Well, 49 and 41. Let me see. As this, yeah, 49 and 40. My mistake. But Helium Man's Heart says concern level is 9 out of 10. Wow. I need to see these guys come back, and I need to see them get healthy and see what they do, and I need to see what they do at the deadline. Thank you, Evan. 49 and 40. I appreciate that. And does Cashman punt this deadline like 2023? He's got areas he could fill, and they could be better when they come back from injury. This team can be good if you get a Rise, if you get Jeffers, Joe Ryan, you get Brooks Lee maybe, or you get a Schoolbull. Evan says they were 33 and 27 in 2020. Yes. I mean, they were right there. It was a great series versus the Rays, and then you know who blew it a roll this Chapman against Mike Brosseau or something like that after they had that beef in the regular season. You remember that? The beef they had, and then Mike Brosseau takes him deep in his biggest game of his career. But anyways, let's get into a little bit of the trade targets. Just brief. I want to get into this and look at their Savant. Even though I don't want to rely heavily on Savant, I just want to bring it up. So let's see what they got. I brought up Brooks Lee first. And the reason why I want to talk about Brooks Lee is because his Savant doesn't stand out. But neither did Caballero's last year, and they went out and get him. And this is a better version of Caballero in my opinion. And Caballero came over and he got a little bit better. Ken Brooks Lee, he bats 250, got a 739 OPS. And he's scrappy. He's a switch hitter. He could play all over. He's only 25. He's got years. He's versatile. So is this a guy to keep an eye out on? Let's jump over to Luis Ariz as well. What the heck is that pitcher? That was not Luis Ariz at all. Oh my God. Luis Ariz's baseball savant is ridiculous. He's got a 326 average with an 823 OPS. He's got 4 homers, but he's already got 100 hits. I mean, this would just be, and his defense has got better. So it would be way more of an upgrade over Jazz. Look at this. Lefty, righty, doesn't matter. He's slashing. Lefty's 317, righty's 330. That's ridiculous. Let's go into Joe. I mean, this is ridiculous. Let's see his spray chart. I want to see his spray chart before we jump into Joe Ryan. Okay, he goes all over the field. His home runs are pull, but we don't need that. We need him to hit singles and doubles and come through and clutch and be situational. That would be a perfect guy to get. Joe Ryan has a 3.36. Look, 24, 3.6, 25, 3.4. You know what you're getting with him. He's a reliable guy, in my opinion, and I would go out and get him. His stuff looks good. He's someone you could cement in this rotation. It could be Schlittler, and he may not cost as much. Maybe he will, honestly, because he has more another year than Schoolbull. But obviously, I think Schoolbull might cost more because of the name, and he's won back-to-back Cy Youngs. Go out and get Schoolbull if you can, but if you can't, imagine having Schlittler, Joe Ryan, Garrett Cole, Max Fried. maybe Rodon. In the postseason, then you have Weathers in the pen. You have Bednar. You have Cruz. You bring up Giovanni Cruz. Then you get bullpen arms. You have Tim Hill, Hedrick. You get three bullpen arms. Now you're talking about a good team that you just put together, but they have to do a lot of moves and heavy lifting in or at the deadline. And the deadline's coming up so soon, and I cannot wait for the deadline because we are going to do this show big. We're going to go live. And listen, me and Jimmy are going to go live for the deadline. A few hours left, whether there's like 3 hours left at the deadline, and we're just going to start breaking trades. Trade after trade. We're going to start breaking. We're going to pop it up. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk. We'll play some more Yankee in the Den type games. We'll interact with you guys. We'll start floating around some trades that we think are going to happen. We'll react together. We're going to do it really nice for everyone. But Evan says yes. And Healing Men's Heart says Brooks Lee on defense is negative in DRS. Yes. I know his defense is not the greatest, but he can play third. He wasn't great at shortstop for the Twins, but he has versatility, which Brian Cashman loves, and Boone. I do like how his strikeout rate is low, and that's why I say go and get him. He could be a sneaky guy, another Caballero. Imagine you had Imagine the bottom of the lineup. You're 7, 8, 9, and it was Jeffers, Brooks Lee, and Caballero. That's a sneaky, feisty, fiery 7 through 9. And that's why I'm saying Healing Men's Hearts. Listen, I don't think that it's over for the Yankees and that they suck and they can't win and they won't win this year. If they do simple moves, they could be and get really good really quick. Fix up the pen, get a starter, and you do these moves and you make simple decisions like getting rid of Wells or stopping him from starting, sending Volpe down or trading him. And you put guys like Caballero starting every day, Brooks Lee or McMahon with the defense. Brooks Lee could even probably play second instead of Jazz. And maybe his defense goes up at second base. He doesn't have to worry as much. Or you get in a rise. Then you could get much better very quick and be really scrappy really quick with Judge and Stanton and Ben Rice and Bellinger, then Caballero, then Lee, then Jeffers. You could be really, really good really quick and really scary really quick. And Jason Spitzberg 4658, thank you for coming into the show and joining us. Hey, Mets fan here. Whoa, Mets fan. Just subbed. Would you want Luke Weaver? Thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. Would you want Luke Weaver back on the Yanks at the deadline? And my answer to that, and listen, this is funny that you asked this question. I was just out with my buddies. One's a Met fan, actually. And I was like, listen. And he said he loves Luke Weaver. I love Luke Weaver. I know he had a bad ending with us last year. But yes, I'd be all for him coming back to the Yankees and grabbing him and picking him up again. I even would say, could you throw a package Luke Weaver and Brazoban or Luke Weaver and Brooks Raley? I mean, the Mets got a decent bullpen to pick from. But yes, my opinion on that is I would love Luke Weaver back, if I'm being honest with you. Now, getting into the matchup and closing out today's live. Thank you for all the comments and everyone being in here and all the new faces, all the familiar faces. Love it. Tomorrow we got Cam Schlittler, who holds a 2.08 ERA and an 8-5 record, going up against Griffin Jacks, who's a right-hander, 3.45 ERA this season. He's 4-5. We are on, 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time game tomorrow. Hopefully the Yankees could come out swinging. Hopefully, I don't want to see them down. I don't want to see them do nothing. I really want to see them break out of this cold stretch. I can't stand it anymore. I really can't. And Healing Man's Heart says, I don't think Cashman would take Weaver back. I don't know. Maybe he would. Maybe he wouldn't. He traded You know what? I don't know, if I'm being honest. Do you think he would? Let me ask you this, Healing Men's Hearts, and everyone in the comments. Do you think Brian Cashman would ever trade for a Rollis Chapman again and apologize to him? And Healing Men's Heart says Cashman is weird like that. Yeah, maybe I could see that. Uh, Nathaniel Bressy 2049. I hope I said that right. Thank you for the comment. He says, get Garrett Whitlock. He would be a good guy to get. Sneaky good guy to get. Yes, I agree with that. And make sure if you guys are in this live to hit the like button, subscribe if you want Yankees recap, daily news, trade rumors, injury updates, daily and weekly. I post shorts, I post videos, I go live. Follow the Instagram, the TikTok, Yankees_Den to grow that as well and get other update alerts. But thank you for everyone being in here. Nathaniel says it's gonna happen, but it might be too late. Yeah, we'll see. I hope not. I really hope it's not too late. They got to jump out of this show really quick and this cold streak very quick. Evan says definitely not. I think that was to the Rollis Chapman. And Jason, or maybe it was Luke Weaver. I'm not really sure if you could clarify, Evan. And Jason says, he says, I love Luke as well. He's our best reliever right now. Yeah. I mean, listen, I loved Luke as well. The 2024 run, I will never forget. My first time seeing the Yankees enter the World Series and playing it, it was a big letdown, but I loved every moment of just watching the ride. Ronald says they need about 4 more contact hitters. And why isn't Giovanni Cruz up in the Yankees? Listen, Ronald, you're going to get me angry. I have zero clue why Giovanni Cruz is not up with the team. I could not tell you. I could not tell you. He needs to be up with this team. We have Shavilli, whatever the heck his name is, on this team. Disgrace. Healing Men's Heart says, no, he wouldn't. Cashman is too prideful. Yeah, I can see that. His ego maybe wouldn't let him get in the way of that. And Healing Men's Heart says, great show, Lorenzo. I appreciate that. I really do. That means a lot to me. And wrapping this up, our last comment, Nathaniel says, watch out for the 10 days since they sent him down. Could very well be back then. I hope by the end of the 10 days, he is back. We'll see what happens because after the 10 days, I mean, it's going to be coming up quick. The deadline, August 3rd. So watch out. Keep your ears, keep your eyes peeled. Go on X. See what's going on. The trade rumors should start heating up in a few more weeks. It's going to get fun. But that is all I have. Your host, Lorenzo Scarabino, for tonight's live of the Yankees Den podcast. That is it. We're wrapping it up. Thank you, everyone, for being in here. I appreciate all the comments, all the support, the likes, the subscribes from you guys, the regulars, the new people coming in here. We want to make it feel like a family and home, and we want to have some fun together and build a good community. Make sure you share for daily Yankees news. And that is all I have. Lorenzo Scarabino, your host, signing off for the night. And as always, let's go Yankees.